You are standing on an open plain in what is now Tanzania. It is roughly 30,000 years ago, and the morning is already hot. The man next to you goes completely still, lifts one hand, and points at the horizon. Everyone else drops into a crouch. They have all seen it. You look where he is pointing, and you see a brown smear. You do not know if it is a herd of antelope, a stand of dry bushes, or 4 lions walking towards you. You rub your eyes. It does not help. It has never helped. You are short-sighted, 30,000 years before anyone will invent a word for it, and about 42,000 years before anyone will invent glasses. Here is the question that should stop you cold. Where are all these people in the fossil record? Because today, short-sightedness is not rare. It is closer to normal. In parts of East Asia, studies find myopia in 8 or 9 out of every 10 young adults finishing school. Researchers projected that by 2050, roughly half the planet will be short-sighted. Half the planet. So you would expect this to be an ancient human trait, something we have always carried. And that is exactly where it falls apart. Because when researchers looked at populations that had never been to school, they found almost none of it. Not less. Almost none. The clearest case comes from Barrow, Alaska, in the 1960s. A team measured the eyes of an Inuit community across 3 generations living in the same place. The grandparents had grown up hunting on the ice. Almost none of them were short-sighted. Their grandchildren had grown up in classrooms. More than half of them were short-sighted. Same families, same genes, same food, 1 generation apart. Whatever this is, it is not something you simply inherit. It is something that happens to you. And for a long time, everyone assumed they knew the culprit. It turns out that is mostly wrong, and the real answer is stranger. A short-sighted eye is not a weak eye. It is a long eye. The eyeball grows a fraction of a millimeter too far, and the image lands in front of the retina instead of on it. And what tells the eye when to stop growing is light, bright outdoor daylight. A sunny day outdoors is around 100,000 lux. A well-lit room is around 500. Your eyes think a room is a cave. Trials in Taiwan and Australia tested this directly. Send children outside for 2 extra hours a day, and the rate of new myopia drops. Not the reading. The walls. Which means a child who spends every daylight hour outside, on an open plain, is running the single best protection against it that exists. So does that mean nobody in the Stone Age was short-sighted? No. Some were. Genes still matter. They just need the environment to switch them on, and the environment mostly did not. And here is the part I find genuinely hard to think about. If you were one of them, nobody could tell you. There is no eye chart. There is no word for blurry. You have nothing to compare your vision to. You would not think I see badly. You would think the others are unusually good at spotting things. So you would drift, away from the hunt, towards the things that live at arm's length. But the thing that actually blinded the ancient world was not myopia at all. It was the opposite. After about 40, the lens inside your eye stiffens. It stops changing shape. You cannot focus up close anymore. This one is not a lifestyle. It happens to everybody, everywhere, and it always has. And it lands on exactly the people a group cannot afford to lose. The ones who nap the blades, sew the seams, set the needle. Your best craftsman goes half useless at the exact age he finally knows what he is doing. The first spectacles show up in northern Italy around the 1280s, and they were not for the short-sighted. They were reading stones for aging monks and merchants who could no longer see their own accounts. So put the whole thing together. For almost all of human history, the outdoors quietly protected your eyes for free, and old age took your close vision anyway. We reversed it. We built rooms, and we handed the young the blurry horizon that used to belong only to the old. If you are wearing glasses right now, they are not a flaw in your body. They are a receipt for how we live. Pull up a seat by the fire. New journey next week.